Welcome to the 2023 Mid-States All-Star Championships. Day 1, Session 1 here at the IU Natatorium in Indianapolis, Indiana. You're watching the girls 11 to 14, 1650 freestyles. We'll be starting that momentarily. We'll update you on a few things as we go through the day. Team scores will be a pretty close meet, all the way top to bottom. Usually is at this competition 6 All-Star LSCs competing against each other. And momentarily we'll be starting the session. Welcome back. 2023 Mid-States All-Star Championships. You're watching the heat number 1 of the 11 to 14-year-old girls 1650 freestyle. This is a time final event, and we will be swimming this heat fastest to slowest. Although the 11 to 14s are swimming together, they are scored separately. So we will keep track of the times, the fastest times for the 11, 12-year-olds and the 13, 14-year-olds. The time final event means that anybody in any of the 5 heats that we have the opportunity to place in the top 8, top 16, or win the event. In heat number 1, Bryn Sundell from Team Wisconsin in lane 1. Lane 2, Lillian Mahar from Team Michigan. Emmy Meyer from Team Wisconsin. Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan. Madison Ensing from Team Michigan. Grace Parsons from Team Indiana. Madeline Gow from Team Minnesota. And Faith Lamar from Team Minnesota as well. These young ladies in this heat are all 14 years of age. And they were all competing against each other with scoring points for their all-star team. 6 different LSCs are here in a championship meet format. Team Ohio, Team Wisconsin, Team Indiana, Team Minnesota, Team Michigan, and Team Kentucky. So close battles being waged in the pool today. It is a time final meet. The session today started out with a parade of athletes and opening ceremonies. We were lucky enough to have Olympians Drew Kibler and Erica Brown on site. Each of the teams had the opportunity to have a meet and greet in the hospitality room, 10 minutes to listen to the athletes' stories and ask questions, and both of the athletes were gracious enough to stay around for a great deal of the day. Again, heat number 1 of the 11 to 14-year-olds, 1650 freestyle. This is heat 1. 66 lengths of the pool. A lot of races within the races here in the 1650. You're watching from home. Lane 8 is at the bottom of your screen, lane 1 at the top. Our leader from Team Kentucky is Adrian Shadler. Team Michigan, Adrian Shadler at the 250 with a 229.84. Meet record for 11 to 14-year-olds, 17:21:31, set back in 2007 by Kristen Nunley of Team Indiana. The 13-14 meet record 16:42.72, set back in 2018 by Tori Kulata from Team Ohio. Take you through the team scores. On the men's side, they are swimming in the south pool. The girls are swimming. You're watching the girls in the north pool, which is the scoreboard, and the boys are swimming in the south pool, which is the diving well end. That's our sister broadcast. If you have somebody you would like to watch in the 11-12 boys 1650, just click on the sister broadcast on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. Boys points. Team Ohio leads the boys competition 787 points. Team Indiana in second with 600. Team Kentucky at 503.5. Team Minnesota 471.5. Team Michigan 446, and Team Wisconsin 225. On the women's side, or girls' side, Team Indiana leads 754. Team Ohio close behind 734.5. Team Minnesota 508. Team Michigan right behind them at 503. Team Wisconsin 414, and Team Kentucky at 219.5. Those are separate girls and boys scores. Your leader, Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan. As she flips down at this end, she'll be right now at the 475. If you're watching your favorite swimmer from home, watch the scoreboard splits, not necessarily where they are place-wise, but you can follow your athlete and watch how they strategically move in and through the 1650. Your leader at the 500, Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan, 5:07:36. She's holding a 31.43 for that 50. That makes her the fastest swimmer in the pool. Not necessarily is the fastest swimmer in the pool always in the lead. So this is a long event, very much treated sometimes as almost like a track event, negative split. You'll watch the athletes as they build through the event itself. And keep an eye on your favorite swimmers. A lot of races going on within the races. The race for second place and third place right now is between lane number 5, Madison Ensink from Team Michigan, and Lillian Mahar from Michigan as well. So Michigan in the top 3 places right now in the 1650. Fastest swimmer in the pool is still Adrian Shadler, right closest behind in a 50 split was Grace Parsons from Indiana in 4th place. A lot of props go to these young swimmers. Many of them here on an all-star team. Their coaches may be on staff, but you may have 20 to 30 different teams represented from all the different LSCs within their LSC. So swimming in a different environment sometimes, not necessarily swimming at a different pool, but swimming for a different coach, swimming away from home, swimming away from your parents. It is different environment, which makes athletes need to be adaptable to be able to change with those environments. Fastest swimmer right in the pool right now is Grace Parsons from Team Indiana, 31.79 on that split. She's in 4th place, slowly moving up. We'll keep track of the fastest swimmers in the age groups 11 to 14, scored separately, ages 13, 14, and 11, 12, scored separately, awarded separately. Teammates at the bulkhead end, pretty important to the 1650 swimmers. A lot of communication sometimes comes from the teammates on the bulkhead, maybe changing position in the lane, or coach encourages the lap counter to move it up and down or side to side quickly to encourage the athlete to pick up the pace, or to put the lap counter in a position where they want them to change the position in the lane. Wide lanes here at the IU Natatorium. Sometimes athletes will circle swim as in practice, and coaches want to encourage them to swim right along that black line. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Adrian Shadler at 31.1. You can see how Adrian is starting to pick up the pace here on the back half as well at 8:17 at the 800. In second, Madison Ensink from Team Michigan. In third now is Grace Parsons. Grace splits at 31.10. She is now the fastest swimmer in the pool. Again, fastest swimmer doesn't necessarily mean the leader, just happen to have the fastest splits as they race through the back half of the 1650. Again, this is a timed final event, 5 heats today of the girls 11 to 14, 1650. A lot of great racing going on. I think we had 4 meet records in session 1 today. Adrian Shadler, your leader, splits at 31.64 on that split. In second now is Grace Parsons. She splits 31.31. Now in second, who's the fastest swimmer in the pool. In third, Madison Ensink from Team Michigan. In fourth, Lillian Mahar from Team Michigan as well. In fifth, Emmy Meyer from Team Wisconsin, also under 32 seconds, is Emmy. Your leader at the 1,000, Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan. Splits a 31.54. 10:23.50 for Adrian at the 1,000. In second, Grace Parsons from Team Indiana, 31.64. In third, Madison Ensing from Team Michigan. And in fourth, Lillian Mahar from Team Michigan. Watch the distance swimmers off their walls. Trying to get out the push-offs out past the flags. Pretty good heat. Pretty experienced heat. Adrian Shadler, 31.28, picking up her pace on the third 500 here is Adrian, looking strong on the back half. Grace Parsons from Team Indiana, 31.47. Madison Ensing from Team Michigan now at 32.23 in third. Lillian Mahar, 32.56 in fourth. Cruising through the back half of this event. Again, if you're watching from home, lane 8 is at the bottom of your screen, lane 1 at the top of your screen. You're watching your favorite swimmer. And again, if you're a fan of your Team LSC, the boys are swimming in the South Pool, which is the diving well end of the pool. That's in a separate broadcast on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. And obviously go back and watch it. All these events will be archived. Adrian Shadler looking from Team Michigan, looking to set the standard as she moves through the back half of this 1650, still splitting a 31.66 is Adrian. Grace Parsons from Team Indiana, 31.71 in second. So the athlete that wins this particular heat will set the fastest times that the remainder of the swimmers in the competition will go chase. And it's a time final event, so by winning this heat doesn't mean you necessarily win the event, but it puts you in the top spot. Again, 11 to 14-year-olds, 13, 14s will be competing in the remainder of the heats as well as the 11, 12s. Adrian Shadler again, 31.43, fastest swimmer in the pool as she puts forth pretty strong effort on the back half. Your leader, Adrian Shadler, 31.01, the fastest split for Adrian. in the back half of this race so far. Grace Parsons still in second from Team Indiana. Here comes your leader at the 1500, Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan. She's at 15:39. She split 31.0 on that split. Fastest swimmer in the pool. In second, Grace Parsons from Team Indiana, 31.84. In third, Madison Ensing, Michigan, Team Michigan, 32.18. Again, two different sets of records for the 11 to 12 and 13, 14-year-old girls. Madison Ensing on the bell lap. Adrian Shadler on the bell lap, 31.39 on that split. Emmy Meyer coming on strong in fifth, 31.64. All right, 11-12 meet record, 17:21.34 set back in 2007. 13-14 meet record, 16:42.72. Adrian Shadler looks to post the fastest time of the day so far with a 17:11.71. In second in this heat, Grace Parsons from Team Indiana. In third, Madison Ensing from Team Michigan. In fourth, Emmy Meyer from Wisconsin, who had a great back half. In fifth, Lillian Mahar from Team Michigan. In sixth, scoreboard malfunction here. We're getting ready for heat 2 of the girls 1650. Heat 2 upcoming. So the fastest time to beat so far in the 13-14 age group is 17:11.71, set by Adrian Shadler. My apologies for if I mispronouncing anybody's names. Heat number 2. In lane 1, Isla Madara, 13-year-old from Team Indiana. Chloe Gustin, a 13-year-old from Team Ohio. Stella Suchi from Team Minnesota in lane 3. Colony Furnish from Team Indiana, a 13-year-old in lane number 4. Charlotte Dusier from Team Ohio, a 13-year-old. In 5, Maria L. Kutsi, a 12-year-old from Team Michigan. Brooke Olson, a 13-year-old from Team Minnesota. And Abby Everett, 11-year-old from Team Indiana. So we have two 11, 12-year-olds competing in this heat. Again, the 11, 12-year-olds and 13, 14-year-olds will swim together but be scored separately. Well, we'll keep an eye on the fastest times as we go through heat number 2 of 5. Our leader in this heat, as they come up on the 150, top of your screen, lane number 1, Bryn Sundell from Team Wisconsin. He is a 13-year-old. Our 11 to 12-year-old group in lane number 6 is Maria El Kudsi and Abby Everett in 8. So 6 and 8 are racing each other within their age group. Time to beat 17:11:71 by Adrian Shadler in heat number 1. Adrian's outstanding swim, holding low 31 seconds per 50 in that event. Medals are awarded for top 3 swims in each age group. This is really a team-focused meet. So it is about scoring team points. So a lot of swimmers in this event looking to score and get for their teams and making a move in the team standings. Still in lane number 1, Isla Madara from Team Indiana in lane number 1. Nice long walls over there. Lane number 3, Stella Succi from Team Minnesota. If you're a fan of your LSC team, our sister broadcast on the Team Indiana Swimming YouTube channel, you'll see 2 separate broadcasts, one for the girls in the North Pool, one for the boys in the South Pool as they compete simultaneously. Again, the 11-12 meet record, 17:21:31, set in 2007 by Kristen Nunley from Team Indiana. And the 13-14 meet record, 16:42:72, set back in 2018 by Tori Kulata from Ohio LSC. You'll see a lot of these young ladies use the first 500 as a way to build into their race, find their stroke, find their pace, get comfortable with their breathing. And at the 500, lane number 1, Isla Madara from Team Indiana, 15:67. 32:21 for your leader, 32:19 from Stella Succi from Team Minnesota. Nice battle going on for those two in lanes number 1 and 3. Marie Alcadusi from Team Michigan. She is a 12-year-old, and she is in this heat in 4th place, looking to post the fastest 11:12 time for all the rest of the heats to chase. Nice battle in lanes 1 and 3 in this heat. Fastest swimmer in the pool right now is Isla Madara, 32.05 on that split. Watching the young ladies in the mile, pretty amazing young athletes. Sometimes it's not about getting faster, it's about maintaining your pace as you go through the race. A lot of athletes, it's a battle of who will maintain their pace and not get slower. We're here on the Indiana University campus here in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the beautiful IU Natatorium, site of many Olympic trials. Again, Indianapolis will be hosting the 2024 Olympic trials here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Yes, I did say Lucas Oil Stadium. They will be held in a football stadium in 2024. We'll look on the USA Swimming Team Trials website for ticket information. Make your plans early. Those hotel reservations. Watch the nation's best athletes compete for a spot on the Olympic team. Again, we saw Drew Kibler and Erica Brown here today, former Olympians, NCAA champions, national team members, international competitors for Team USA here today, speaking to our athletes, signing autographs. Again, that's what makes the Mid-States meet so special. It is such a team-oriented event. A lot of special activities, the opening ceremonies today. Tomorrow we'll be doing the duck drop. Tune in tomorrow if you want to see what that is. It's a fun activity for the kids where they can earn prizes, right? Stops the meet right after the relays, and athletes get to have a little fun and kick off the day. Coming up on the 1,000 here, your leader in the outside lane, outside smoke, Isla Madara from Team Indiana. She flips with 32.38 on that split. In second is still Stella Suchi from Team Minnesota. In third, Charlotte Ducier from Team Ohio. In fourth, the 12-year-old Maria L. Cadusi from Team Michigan. In fifth, Conley Furnish from Team Indiana. In sixth, Chloe Gustin from Team Ohio. In seventh, Abby Everett from Team Indiana. And in eighth, Brooke Olson from Team Minnesota. On the back half of this race, keep an eye on your favorite swimmer. Watch their splits and see how they approach effort. It's not always about going faster by seconds. Sometimes it's about going faster by tenths of seconds. Some great racing going on in the pool. Stella Succi out at 31.97 on that split. So she was the fastest swimmer in the pool. So watch how they approach the third 500 and then have great closing speed at the end of their 1650s. Turns become really important in the 1650. A lot of turns. The athletes who attack their walls can't necessarily catch people by by large leaps and bounds, but tenths of seconds at every turn really put you back into competition against your head-to-head competition against the athletes in a lane near you. Again, time final event. 11 to 14-year-olds all competing together, but scored separately, awarded separately. Madara in lane number 1. Lips 32.42 her split. Right now, Isla is the fastest swimmer in the pool. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean they're leading, but it is just where those splits happen to fall effort-wise. Sometimes if you see an athlete who goes a 31 or a 32.0 and then a 32.5, it isn't always about effort. Sometimes it's about they didn't catch the wall just right with their push-off or took a breath going into the turn. So splits sometimes change by how the athletes approach their red zones. Ayla Madara, 32.74. Stella Succi, 32.37. So Stella still hanging strong right there. Fastest 12-year-old, Maria L. Caduci from Team Michigan. She is the fastest 11, 12-year-old so far, looking to set that standard for everybody to chase. This is heat number 2 of 5. Session started this morning. Athletes, pretty full day for our athletes. The day started out with picture taking, then on to a meet and greet with national team members, then their team warm up and team cheers, opening ceremonies, a full session day of racing. Now we're in the middle session of the 1650. Full day for these young athletes. Ayla Madara still in first, 32.40 on her split from Team Indiana. In second, Stella Succi. In third, Charlotte Dushir from Ohio. In fourth, Maria L. Caduci from Michigan. In fifth, Conley Furnish, Team Indiana. In sixth, Chloe Gustin from Ohio. A lot of these young swimmers are swimming for the first time, or not often with a new coach. Somebody who has a new coach that may be a friend of their coach or somebody new coaching the all-star team. Getting to meet a lot of new people. Many voices help develop an athlete's career. Ayla Madara, 32.41 on that split. Again, this time to beat, 17.11.71, set by Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan in heat number 1. That is the fastest 13.14 time so far. Looks like Maria L. Caduci from Team Michigan looking to set the fastest 11.12 times so far. And she is in lane number 6. Strong swim out there for Stella Succi from Team Minnesota. Keeping right there with our leader, Ayla Madara. Bell lap for your leader in lane number 1, Isla Madara. 32.39 on that split. Coming on strong, Estella Succi from Team Minnesota. She split a 32.0 on that split. A lot great closing speed here at the end. A lot of great racing going on. Again, time to beat 17:11.71 from heat number 1. Sorry, this is the bell lap now for Isla Madara. We got 2 pools side by side racing, and I'm listening to the boys' bells and not the girls. Again, that sister broadcast, boys, 11 to 14-year-old, 1650s. Madara, 17:37.63. Let's check out the time in lane number 6, Maria Alcadusi from Team Michigan. And she posts a 17:58.07 for the fastest 12-year-olds. 17:58.67 is the time to beat for the 11, 12-year-old girls. We're going into heat number 305. Still finishing up heat number 2. I was talking to some of the coaches and some of the parents. Sometimes this event isn't offered all too often. We're so caught up in timelines and more swimmers in the meet and making money that this is one of the events that gets cut very often in our invitationals. So many of these young athletes have rarely swum this particular event. Parents were saying this is only the 2nd time my swimmer has swum this event. A lot of opportunity for best times. Heat number 3 of the girls, 11 to 14-year-olds, 16:50. In the water now is heat 3. Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin, a 13-year-old. Amelia Johnson, Team Kentucky, 14-year-old. Alice Stewart, Team Ohio, 13-year-old. Lexi Galicki from Team Wisconsin, a 14-year-old. Kennedy Johnson, Team Wisconsin, 14-year-old. Gabby Torres Morris, 11-year-old from Team Kentucky. Jane Johnson, 13-year-old from Team Wisconsin. And Kaya Casey, 12-year-old from Team Minnesota. So again, 11, 12-year-olds mixed in with the 13, 14s. Again, time final event means anybody from any of the heats can win the event, move up into top 8, top 16 scoring. Top 3 are the medal awards in each individual event. And remember, the 11 to 12 and 13, 14s are swum together and scored separately. You're watching the event at the beautiful IU Natatorium here in Indianapolis, Indiana, the iconic IU Natatorium. 40 years old this last year. 40 years that this pool has been hosting championship and international competitions, including Olympic trials. Many world records set here in the net. The Olympic wall is something that makes this, where all the names of the athletes from back, starting at 2000 and going backwards, the Olympians that made the team, put up on the wall here at the IU Natatorium. North Pool here, this is the scoreboard end. You're watching the girls competition, heat 3. Flipping first, Jane Johnson over here in lane number 7. Jane is from Team Wisconsin. In second was Kennedy Johnson, Team Wisconsin. Now, one is a 13-year-old and one is a 14-year-old, both from Team Wisconsin. No, I don't know if they're related. but I should have done the research. All right, lane number 7, still your leader, Jane Johnson, followed closely by Kennedy Johnson, both from Team Wisconsin, as they build into the front half of the 1650. Time to beat in the 13, 14-year-olds, Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan, 17:11.71, fastest 11:12 time to beat so far, 17:58.67 by Maria El Cadusi from Team Michigan as well. Again, athletes swimming together, scored separately, awarded separately. Battles tightening up here with Jane Johnson and Kennedy Johnson from Team Wisconsin. Jane with a 32.87. She's the fastest swimmer in the pool so far. I believe that many of these young athletes' seat times probably come from last year, potentially when the last time they had to swim had the opportunity to swim a championship meet and swim the mile. 1650 is more accurate than the mile, but traditionally called that. Jane Johnson, your leader, 33.06 in second. Kennedy Johnson. In third, top of your screen, Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin. Top 3 swimmers, all from Team Wisconsin. In fourth, at the bottom of your screen, Kaya Casey. Kaya is from Team Minnesota. No slow lanes here at the IU Natatorium. As you saw previous heat, one outside lane number 1. Moving up on the 500. Our leader, lane number 7, Jane Johnson, Team Wisconsin, 33.42 on that split. Kennedy Johnson, lane number 5 in second from Team Wisconsin, 34.38. Fastest swimmer in the pool is actually in lane number 1, Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin, now starting to make a move in 33.33 for Abby. 33.58 for Alice Stewart from Team Ohio. Some swimmers under 34 seconds there. Turns make a big difference when you're in a tight battle in the 1650. Flowing in and out of your turn takes less effort. Also trying not to circle swim here at the IU Natatorium. 9-foot lanes. Instead of swimming a 1650, you could be swimming a 1660. So coaches really try to encourage them through the lap counters or through hand signals to stay in the middle of the lane. Deep water pool here at the Natatorium. One of the things that through our renovation project they had a few years ago here at the IU Natatorium, the lighting was dramatically improved. So the bowl, which is the pool itself, is not is well lit with directional lighting and also natural lighting from the ceiling. So if you're watching it from up here in the stands as we do, the athletes have no dark spots in the pool when they're turning. So amazing opportunity for these young swimmers to swim in a pool that's so well lit. It also makes the pool fast, not just the deep water or lane lines or competition. It's all of those things that create an equation to make a fast pool. You bring the fastest swimmers from 6 LSCs together and it becomes a fast pool. Some great coaches on deck as well. Still Jane Johnson in lane number 7, the leader. Jane is 13 years of age. Jane coming up on her turn here, lane number 7. 33.06 for Jane. In second now, Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin. Outside smoke, top of your screen, 33.60 on that split for Abby. Third place, Kennedy Johnson, Team Wisconsin. Top 3 spots all belong to Team Wisconsin in this heat. Again, time final event. You can see some of the athletes just getting looser as they go through the back half of this race. Strokes get longer. They look more comfortable. You won't see many of the athletes in this particular race overuse their legs throughout this race, more for just body position than it is for speed if they're kicking to keep the body position on top of the water. Some of them doing a 3 to 4 beat kick instead of a 6 beat kick. Some of them a 2 beat crossover kick, utilizing just body position with their legs. Jane Johnson, 33.63, your leader from Team Wisconsin. Top of your screen, lane 1, Abby Bowker, Wisconsin, 33.40. Nice split there for Abby as she inches her way back closer and closer to your leader. Third, Kennedy Johnson. Fourth, Lexi Ganecki from Team Wisconsin as well. Alice Stewart with a nice swim. Team Ohio in 5th. Kaya Casey, Team Minnesota, 12-year-old. Gabby Torres Morris in lane number 6 is also an 11-year-old. So 11, 12-year-olds in this heat. Time that they're shooting for is 17:58.67. That is the time, fastest time swum so far. We're now in heat number 3 of the 11, 12-year-old 1650. Heat 3 of 5. Coaches know a lot of points can be scored in the 1650 in relays. Really encouraging our athletes in the pool to race the back half. Jane Johnson, 33.55, 33.71 for Abby Bowker. In second, 33.52, Lexi Ganecki from Team Wisconsin, now in third. Doesn't seem to be any NASCAR drafting going on. Everybody's swimming in the middle of the lane in this heat. Nobody's sneaking over next to the lane trying to draft. In the 1650 here, some smart swimmers swimming straight down and back on the black line. Your lap counters at the end, you notice the lap counters there. Not only do they, it's interesting watching it that most athletes are very superstitious, want to have somebody they trust or know counting laps. Some of them actually have the lap counter outside of the pool, and they will sneak a peek with their breath instead of watching it underwater. They think it maybe throws their turn off slightly. They will ask that the lap counter gets put in the pool earlier so they can see the lap counter at the flags, and then they'll pull it out before they flip, and they can just focus on their turn. It's the little things that make a great 1650. Not just a good one, but a great one. Nice thing about swimming in a meet like this is you're swimming with a purpose. 33.51 for Jane Kennedy, our leader. She's 11.32, 11.38 for Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin in second. Working our way through the back half of this 1650 now. Just heat 3 of 5. This is the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel that you're watching. You want to watch the boys' heats, separate broadcast. All of our broadcasts will be archived. Go back and watch races of all your favorite swimmers throughout the weekend. Speaking to a few of the coaches and a few of the families yesterday, some of them driving 4 and 5 hours, others flying into Indianapolis try to make a weekend out of it. And Indianapolis is a fun town, so hopefully that's many of the parents get to socialize with each other and go out and enjoy Indianapolis. It's a neat town. Jane Johnson, your leader from Wisconsin. Jane is a 13-year-old from Team Wisconsin, 33.71 on that split. Followed closely by Abby Bowker from Team Wisconsin, 33.36. That actually makes Abby the fastest swimmer in the pool. Jane's got a pretty good lead so far. And the third 500 of their 1650. Coaches do have different strategies of how they reference the race to their athletes, give them a race plan. Almost guaranteed that many of these coaches or these athletes or coaches either are here watching or texting their coach back home, how should I swim this? Putting together a good race plan. Coaches may be watching it live back home with their home club. 33.72 for Jane Johnson on that split. 33.34 for Abby Bowker again. Sometimes just about turns. Abby Bowker seems to be picking up just a few tenths of a second. She can get inside the red zone here. Might have an opportunity to race our leader. 11, 12-year-olds in the heat. Lane number 8, Kaya Casey from Team Minnesota is a 12-year-old. And Gabby Torres-Morris, 11-year-old from Team Kentucky. They're racing that 17:58.67 that was set in previous heat. Your leader over here in lane number 7, 33.56 is Jane Johnson from Team Wisconsin. Her teammate, 33.46, Abby Bowker, Team Wisconsin. Looks like Team Wisconsin is really stacked in this particular heat. Teams get to enter 4 swimmers in each individual event in a scoring position. This is one of those events where coaches try to fill in some of their top swimmers to score points for their team. Pretty tight battle as we reference the scores, both men and women, girls and boys, earlier. As today we'll reference what coaches encourage their athletes to try to approach Sunday with a mindset of moving up through the leaderboard. Jane Johnson, 33.56, fastest swimmer in the pool on that split. You're hearing the bell in the background. That's for the boys' pool, South Pool. Boys 1650 freestyle. Sister broadcasts. Young ladies are in the North Pool, scoreboard end. So again, your leader in lane number 7 is Jane Johnson from Team Wisconsin. Worry necessarily about where your young swimmer places in this particular heat because they're racing 5 different heats, depending on who they are. It's putting their best effort forth. Jane Johnson splits a 33.57 on that split, lane number 7. She is our leader. Bell lap for Jane. Closing out strong. Great closing speed here for Jane Johnson. Top of our screen in second, Abby Bowker, Team Wisconsin. Jane Johnson splits at 32.91, so you see the great closing speed there by Jane. Good strong legs at the end. Jane finishes this heat in first place in this particular heat, 18:11.66. In second, Abby Bowker. In third, Lexi Ganecki from Team Wisconsin. Next up on the block, heat number 4 of 5, 11 to 14-year-old, 1650. Heat number 4 of 5 in the water. In lane number 1, Daphne Sakilian from Team Wisconsin, 11-year-old. Delaney Miners, 12-year-old from Team Ohio. Haley Hunter, 11-year-old from Team Indiana. McCall Miller, Team Kentucky, a 12-year-old. Izzy Herrick, a 12-year-old from Team Kentucky, in lane number 5. In lane number 6, Sophia Gilbertson, 12-year-old from Team Minnesota. Emily Gagnon from Team Wisconsin, a 12-year-old, and Maddie Cunningham, a 14-year-old from Team Kentucky, all in heat number 4. Time to beat for the 11, 12-year-olds is 17:58.67. Time to beat, fastest time posted so far for the 13, 14-year-olds, 17:11.71 by Adrian Shadler, back in heat 1 from Team Michigan. Standards been set. See if some of these young ladies in the heat 4 can reach out and challenge the 11, 12, or 14-year-old times set by their teammates in earlier heats. 4th heat of the 1650 girls. We're in the North Pool here at the IU Natatorium. Looks like we've got some young ladies being pretty aggressive on the front half. Sophia Gilbertson. Sophia is from Team Minnesota. And in second, Emily Gagnon from Wisconsin. In first and second as they lead out the heat. So the athletes in the 66 lengths of the pool, sometimes it's a blessing to have a competition, have somebody next to you. Athletes occasionally will get out in the 1650 by themselves and let their thoughts take over occasionally. Maybe their legs hurt, they feel tired, whatever. When you're racing somebody head to head, you seem to push back through that mentally. Knowing that you're racing somebody keeps your mind focused on the race. These young ladies are all stars from each of the 6 LSCs. Selection process is developed by the LSC, local swimming committee. And then the coaches from each of the LSCs will select their all-star team. You're watching heat number 4 of 5, the 11 to 14-year-old 1650. Sister broadcast Heat number 4 in the pool of the boys 11 to 14-year-old 1650 now competing. Our leader right now, lane number 6, Sophia Gilbertson from Team Minnesota. Splits at 34.72 on that split. She is the fastest swimmer in the pool. Fastest doesn't necessarily mean in first place, and particularly in this race. Fastest swimmer in the pool can come in the back half of the race as they start to put their race patterns and their race strategies and their race plans together that their coaches describe for them and train them for. Amazing young athletes. Nice split there by Emily Gagan in lane number 7 from Team Wisconsin, 34-37, right? Almost an even split. And 1 and 2 going battling each other in the early parts of this heat. Sophia's in 6, Emily's in 7. One of the challenges of your all-star coaches is obviously picking the best lineup that helps the team score points, but also knowing some of the athletes' seed times, some of the times that they may have access to maybe from 2 years ago or a year ago when they actually swam their last 1650. So it's not unusual to see big time drops here in the 1650 at this particular meet. So the weekend unfolds for all of you fans at home. Athletes, majority of the athletes, all 5 of the 6 LSCs traveled in last night, came to the IU Natatorium and warmed up, got to meet their teammates, got to meet their coaches, took some team pictures on Friday night, arrived here very early in the morning, finished up their team pictures. And team pictures these days are done a little bit differently. We used to take one big team picture with on the bleachers here, shot from up on the balcony level. You know, when you have 100 kids, obviously you don't have a really good shot of your favorite swimmer, so you can see them up close. Now, photographers are very skilled and they superimpose individual pictures into the team picture. So you actually get a pretty neat shot and opportunities for more pictures in different photo opportunities that the photographers develop. Pro Swim Visuals is here. You can find the order form on provisuals.com. A lot of order forms there. It's still Sophia Gilbertson, Team Minnesota, 34.70 on that split. Your leader in 6, lane 6. Goes to show you as we go through the races or you watch the races throughout the day, not a slow lane at the IU Natatorium. So the athletes went through their team pictures, had a meet and greet with national team members Drew Kibler and Emily Brown. And then the opportunity to, again, autograph signing from our national team members, Olympians, both of them. And then opening ceremonies where they got to march out with their state flags, did a team cheer. The state flags were also displayed at the top of the 10-meter tower during the national anthem. And then on to competition, a full day of competition. Now we're in the second session here with the 1650s. Tomorrow, start very early in the morning. Competition starts at 9. Full day of competition ends about 2:30. We also do a very fun activity called the duck drop. Tune in tomorrow's broadcast and watch some of the fun activities. Sophia Gilbertson, still your leader, 34.67. Still holding 34s there as Sophia. Followed closely by Emily Gagan from Wisconsin, 35.13. In third, Haley Hunter from Indiana, 35.44. In fourth, Daphne Scullion from Wisconsin. In fifth, McCall Miller, Team Kentucky. In sixth, Maddie Cunningham, Kentucky. In 7, Izzy Herrick, Kentucky. And Delaney Miners from Ohio in 8th. Never worry about an athlete swimming in a particular heat. There are 5 heats that the athletes are competing in. So a lot of opportunity to move up in scoring positions here. A lot of 11 to 12-year-olds in this heat. Maddie Cunningham in 8 is a 14-year-old. Everyone else is 11, 12-year-old in this particular heat. Look at Although the races get spread out, or it looks like they get spread out if you're watching your favorite swimmer in the pool, there are some races within races going on. Athletes always looking for someone to chase. Your leader, Sophia Gilbertson, looking to work her way up through the field and find the next race, somebody to chase. It makes almost sometimes a little bit of a challenge within a challenge for the athletes to try to race or get up on somebody's feet to race. Sophia Gilbertson, 34.90 on that split in first. Closely by Emily from Team Wisconsin, 35.37. Coach is on the sidelines. Cheering from all the different LSCs. Haley Hunter in 3rd from Team Indiana. In 4th, Izzy Herrick from Team Kentucky. In 5th, McCall Miller from Team Kentucky. 6th, Daphne Scullion from Wisconsin. 7th, Maddie Cunningham from Kentucky. In 8th, Delaney Miners from Team Ohio. Working our way through the back half of this meet now. Coming up on the 1,000. $34.68 for your leaders, Sophia Gilbertson. Sophia from Team Minnesota, 12-year-old. Seed times coming in. Fastest seed time in this particular heat. Again, as you watch the race unfold, watch and see how your athletes are compared to their entry time. Fastest entry time in this particular heat is 9:05.46. So let's see how many of our young athletes can approach breaking 19 minutes in this particular race. Again, fastest 11-12 time swum so far, 17:58.67. Maria El Cadusi from Team Michigan. And then the 13-14 fastest time, 17:11.71. Adrian Shadler from Team Michigan. This is heat number 4 of 5 of the 11 to 14-year-olds, girls, 16:50. Again, meet record, 11 to 12-year-olds, 17:21.31, set back in 2007 by Kristen Nunley of Team Indiana. 13-14 meet record, 16:42.71, set back in 2018 by Tori Culata from Team Ohio Lake Erie. Your leader still, Sophia Gilbertson, 35.01 on that split. Closely by Emily Gagnon from Team Wisconsin. As they work through the third 500 of the 1650. Talk about the tradition in the IU natatorium again. The 2024 Olympic trials will be held here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm sure that's something that any swimming fan has already heard about. Also hosted, or even the non-swimming fan or the new swimming fan as we build our fan base, tell them that it's going to be hosted at Lucas Oil Stadium. And see how many of your friends want to watch a swim meet held in a football stadium. Might be a fun opportunity for all your relatives and friends to come down and watch the U.S. Olympic team trials in 2024 here in India. Sophia, your leader, 34.73, pops down under 35 seconds on that split. 35.18 for Haley Hunter in third. Nice split there by Haley. Second fastest split in the pool. Haley starting to make a run in lane number 3. Young ladies pushing strong through this third 500 of the 1650. Coaches will break the race up, the strategic ways for the athlete to be able to connect to when or how they approach the race strategy in the 1650. Watch our leader here, Sophia Gilbertson. Strong legs as she pushes through the back half. Good, strong tempo. Let's watch her turn here at the bulkhead end here. She flips. Strong push-off out to the flags. Sophia Gilbertson here as she flips. 34.42. You can see her really putting the effort forth on the back half here. So I need to drop her splits down under 35 seconds. So again, watch your favorite swimmer. Then Sam Emily Gagan from Wisconsin, 30.47 as well, both under 35 seconds. Watch your favorite swimmer. Watch their splits on the back half. Watch their turns and the push-offs. Long walls. When they're racing head-to-head. As you watch in the middle of the pool here, two Team Kentucky swimmers swimming and racing head-to-head. It's important they really focus on their racing skills inside the flags. They both push off simultaneously and really come almost identically together. Looks a little bit like mirror swimming, but they've got to really maintain strong turns to be able to hold the race position. Sophia Gilbertson, 35.31 on that split. Still our leader. Looking to go wire to wire is Sophia in this heat. Wow, Sophia Gilbertson, 33.62 on that split. She comes to the back half of this race. Closing speed looks to be in her wheelhouse. Emily Gagan in second. Haley Hunter in third. Izzy Herrick in fourth. Nicole Miller in fifth. Again, these young ladies are racing against all 11 to 14, or excuse me, 11, 12-year-olds, or 11 to 14-year-olds, depending on who you are in this heat. Just keep an eye on our leader. She gets ready to come up on her bell lap here. Time to beat, 17:58.67 for the 11-12-year-olds, 17:11.71 for the 13-14-year-olds. Looking for see how many young ladies can break 19 minutes in this heat. Sophia Gilbertson, 34.48. That is your winner in this heat of number 4, Sophia Gilbertson from Team Minnesota. She split her final time, 18:56.83. In second, Emily Goggin. In third, Haley Hunter. In fourth, Izzy Herrick. In fifth, her teammate, McCall Miller. In sixth, top of your screen, Daphne Scullion from Team Wisconsin. In seventh, Maddie Cunningham from Kentucky. And in this heat, Delaney Miners from Ohio. Here we go. Heat 5 of 5. Heat 5 of 5 of the 11 to 14-year-old 1650s in the North Pool here at the IU Natatorium. One, Leah Chung, team was 12-year-old from Team Wisconsin. Mackenzie O'Brien, 12-year-old from Team Michigan. Heidi Zuska, Team Michigan, a 12-year-old. Leighton Lentz, 11-year-old from Team Ohio. Kinsey Bogards, a 12-year-old Team Indiana. Kate Rosenbaum, 11-year-old from Team Ohio. Elise Miller, 12-year-old from Team Wisconsin. And Pi Halen from Team Wisconsin, a 12-year-old. Tell if that's Pi or PJ. I apologize. All right, heat 5. Time to beat for the 11, 12-year-olds, all 11, 12-year-olds in this heat. Time to beat, 17:58.67. Heat 5 of 5. And some great efforts put forth here. Your sister broadcast going on simultaneously are the boys in the South Pool, the diving well end. Separate broadcast on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. Find the broadcast for the boys in tomorrow morning's broadcast here at the IU Natatorium. Coming up on the 200 as the athletes begin their quest on the lead out, the 1650, setting up their race. First 200 is Kinsey Bogarts from Team Indiana. And again, this first 500 is almost a setup. It's like setting up the rest of the race. Coaches approach it differently and uniquely. And that's the race strategy they talk to their athletes about in train and practice. They talk about race tempo, talk about breathing, talk about pacing, talking about taking the same amount of strokes every 25 or every 50, depending on if it's yards or meters, staying consistent with their distance off the walls, nice relaxed breathing, good body rotation. A lot of things make up a 1650 as well as a 50 freestyle. So many different things that you have to master before you can move on to the next one. This is where the experience helps. These young 11, 12-year-olds getting this race experience and going home and working with their coaches and being ready for their state championship meets in March, or LSC championship meets in March. Kinsey Bogards, Team Indiana, 35-32. Fastest swimmer, no, it's actually Leighton Lentz from Ohio is the fastest swimmer in the pool at 35-24. Little things make all the difference as you work through a 1650 with so many turns. How often can you hit that elite turn? Coaches will start out with, we're going to hit 50% of the best turns we've ever had, and they work to 75%. Goal here is not to focus so much about swimming in between the flags. Just be relaxed and comfortable. Get into a zone. Now let's focus on what you're doing in the red zone. Feet on the wall, strong push-off, good body line, good breakout. Kinsey Bogards looks strong. Your leader in lane number 5. Beat number 5 of 5 of the 1650. All 11, 12-year-old girls in this North Pool that you're watching. Good races and races going on. Top 3 swimmers. Lentz in second. Miller from Wisconsin in third. Rosenbaum from Ohio in fourth. Halen from Wisconsin in fifth. Zuska from Michigan in sixth. O'Brien from Michigan in seventh. Chung in eighth. Lane number 1. No slow lanes here at the IU Natatorium. Place makes much little difference in the 1650. Watch your athletes on the back half of this race as they move up through the competition. So far, Kinsey Bogards at 500. 35-16, still maintaining the position of being the fastest swimmer in the pool, not necessarily first place. As we watch the splits throughout, watch how even your favorite athlete can hold their times. Coming within a tenth or two, or actually hitting it magically right on every tenth of seconds. And you see the elite swimmers in USA Swimming are just amazing how they can do that time after time after time. And if you look at them and they say, well, that's a 1650, they're swimming slow. Oh, no, they're not. And challenge anybody out there to try to jump in and swim as fast as these young ladies. It's so much fun to watch the performances, all LSCs, and it was kind of neat watching the athletes as they came out in the parade of athletes this morning. And, you know, the athlete that was holding their team flag, waving their team flag as they walked out, and everybody, the energy starting out the meet, and kids just having fun doing their team cheers, which sometimes they learn on the spot. So it's really neat to watch the energy. This meet is obviously one of the first weekends in 2023, and it really kicks off the momentum for all of our swimmers going into 2023. So many thanks to all the parents that traveled, the coaches on the deck. and all of our volunteers that make up this meet here at the IU Natatorium. 34.95 by Kinsey Bogarts. Nice split there. In second, Leighton Lentz from Ohio, 36.04. In third, Elise Miller from Wisconsin. Nice split there, 35.94. Fourth, Katie Rosenbaum. Fifth, PJ Holland. Aylin from Wisconsin. Sixth, Heidi Zuska from Michigan. Seventh, Leah Chung from Wisconsin. And eighth, Mackenzie O'Brien from Michigan. Rounds out our top 8 in this heat. Remember, these athletes are competing against all the 11, 12-year-olds in the previous heats as well, not just who they're swimming in this particular heat. Time final event. Nice dolphin kick off the wall by Kinsey. This kind of really maintains her momentum in and out of her turns. Keeps her splits pretty specific through swimming straight in the lane. Heels over the top quickly. Nice power off the wall. Takes good body line. Takes a dolphin kick to start her breakout. And she does this off every wall. Great race patterns for Kinsey. Teammates on the side with the lap counters. Good lap counters, a good MVP. I will tell you, there's a partnership that goes on there with people that are lap counting. First of all, their knees take a beating on that bulkhead. Second of all, they listen to who's the swimmer in the water. Swimmer in the water will tell them where they want their lap counter, what they want them to do with the lap counter, when to take it out. So it's a good partnership there where you're working with your teammate. See the athletes shaking the lap counter up and down. Really, that kind of a signals keep going. You're doing extremely well, or pick up your pace depending on what the coaches talk about. Kinsey Bogard, your leader. Splits 35.09. Fastest split in the pool so far, this particular 50. This heat number 5 of 5 of the 1650s for the 11 to 14-year-old girls here at the IU Natatorium. Again, fastest time swum in the 11, 12-year-olds so far in the 1650. Maria El Caduci from Team Michigan, 17:58.67 is the time to beat. That's the top time in the 11 to 12-year-olds. All 11, 12-year-olds in this particular heat, heat 5 of 5. Sister event going on the South Pool for the boys. Their heat 5 is in the water. Kinsey Bogards, your leader from Team Indiana. Lane number 5 flipping at the start end. 35.31 for Kinsey. Athletes get spread out a little bit in this particular race, but follow your swimmer, not follow the scoreboard as far as where their place is in the heat. All the great effort by your swimmer. In second, Leighton Lentz from Team Ohio. In third, Elise Miller from Wisconsin. In fourth, Katie Rosenbaum from Ohio. In fifth, PJ Holland from Wisconsin. In sixth, Heidi Zuska from Michigan. In seventh, Leah Chung from Wisconsin. Kenzie O'Brien rounds out the field from Team Michigan. Some great efforts here from all 6 of the LSCs. Kind of fun to race against new and different competition. You know that many times that you're racing in your home state or home LSC, we're racing against the same competition over and over and over again. It's kind of neat to come to new and different environments. And you talk to our Olympians today and how they grew up in their LSCs. And Drew Kibler was one of his favorite meets here in Indiana. It was the Mid-States meet. Many of the Olympians that have passed through all 6 of the LSCs have competed in the Mid-States Championships at some point through their swimming careers. We spoke about it earlier. IU Natatorium last year celebrated its 40th year. 40 years of the beautiful IU Natatorium. Went under massive renovations here the last few years. It's almost like a refresh. And the athletes come in here, and that's the first time a young athlete comes here from one of these LSCs and walks into the IU Natatorium. It is something special. Same for the parents. Kinsey Bogards, 35.17. Again, the time to beat for the 11, 12-year-old girls, 17:58.67. Coaches on the sidelines trying to get their athletes home. I guarantee you that, depending on your coach or your teammate, there's a lot of different colors from the uniforms that the teams wear. So these athletes look for their coaches on the sidelines. And many of the athletes will say, go stand by the flag, stand in the middle, wear that favorite shirt so I can spot you. So a lot of communication goes on between the coaches and the athletes occasionally. This is one of those races where coaches can actually see their, the chemistry all come together with the athlete, the training, the experience. Again, great long walls by your leader, Kinsey Bogards. Lane number 3 having a good, Heidi Zuska really starting to pick up her tempo on the back half in lane number 3. Leighton Lentz in 3rd. Katie Rosenbaum in 4th. Heidi Zuska with a nice split from Team Michigan in 6th. Watch your teammates. Watch your favorite swimmers. Maybe your son or daughter's home teammate is also racing in the pool over the weekend. Fun to cheer for your LSC team. A lot of pride here by the fans in the stands today when the athletes did their parade of athletes and marched out with their state flag and did a team cheer. It was just kind of fun to watch, fun to experience. Kinsey Bogards from Team Indiana trying to close out this 1650. 17:58.67 is the time to beat. Kinsey splits 35.44. Athletes are kind of spread out in the water, spread out through the pool. Heat number 505 of the 11 to 14-year-old 1650s. Again, it's a time final event. All swum together. All scored separately and awarded separately by 11, 12-year-old and 13, 14 age groups. Kinsey Bogards, your leader, 35.22. on that split. Big day of racing tomorrow, starting early in the morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Bell lap coming up for your leader, Kinsey Bogarts. Follow your results of your favorite swimmer on Meet Mobile. Go to the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel to watch the races live or in archive. 34.97 for Kinsey Bogarts. Great closing speed in second. All right, Kinsey Bogarts closing in, 5 yards to go. Her time, 19:09.09. Nice swim. Bell laps going on for all the swimmers in the pool. In second, Elise Miller from Team Wisconsin. In third, Leighton Lentz, Team Ohio. In fourth, Katie Rosenbaum, Team Ohio. Sorry, that race has not finished yet. We'll wait till the race is finished before we hit the final scores, final times. There we go. Kinsey Bogarts, Team Indiana, in first in this particular heat. In second, Elise Miller, Wisconsin. In third, Leighton Lentz, Team Ohio. In fourth, Heidi Zuska from Team Michigan. In fifth, Katie Rosenbaum from Ohio. In sixth, Leah Chung moved up well, Team Wisconsin. In seventh, Mackenzie O'Brien from Team Michigan. And in eighth, rounding out the field, PJ Halen from Team Wisconsin. Great job, ladies. Outstanding efforts. We will see you tomorrow on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel for day number 2 of the 2023 Mid-States All-Star Championships. And have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Wish your teammates well for the second day of competition. That's it for now. Indiana Swimming YouTube channel signing off.